Hey gang, this is just a quick look at the new sticker book template design. I just wanted to run through these layer options with you so you can see what's included and how this is put together. So just starting at the top, we have our color grading layers as per usual. So that's going to give those finishing touches on the images, a little bit of color and contrast. All right, so that's just in a group here. You can expand that group. You could change opacities on these to customize that look as you would like. Below that is our facial highlight boost layers, very common that I put in my designs. We can take a look at that when we get a subject in, but basically, painting on these masks with white in order to brighten the facial highlights and let the faces pop out. So that's what those are for. Here we have some foreground shading. That's just adding a little bit of dimension in the lighting on the bottom of the image here. Below that is our text group for our main text at the bottom. So this is grouped because we are doing some multiple layer styles to these. So if we expand this group, we're going to see, first of all, we have our text itself. This is normal text. And again, fonts can be found. Links are on the product page. So we're going to just, change this text as normal. So just type in the new text like so. All right, and then there's some layering effects on this text. So the effects right here, you can see it's doing a couple different stroke lines. So those can be turned on or off, or you could change the colors to give it a little bit different looks there. Again, just double clicking on the layer effect, picking a color, picking your new color. All right, so very easy to do that. And then it's inside of this group because it's also adding some additional effects to this. So some beveling, some gradient to give it that shiny look, some drop shadowing and things. So that's why it's layered in here, but that's where you'll find that main text. All right, and just below that, we have some sticker options we're going to talk about in just a minute. In red is always our subject group. So if we can expand this, we can see the subject's going to get dropped in here. We'll turn him on in just a minute. We do have some effects and some masking being applied to our subject there, but we'll come back to that just momentarily. Below that, I have grouped basically our sport kind of specific sticker options. You can see baseball is turned on by default, but then, we can turn on football or softball or basketball, etc. All right, so we'll take a look at those options in just a minute as well. Below that, again, some more normal text. So this is this text at the bottom right here, and the name text at the top with our background. All right, so that's all the basic layers for right now. So let's take a look at what we have here as options. So if you expand each of these groups, you can see the individual stickers. So again, these can be turned off or on. They can be moved around. They can be layered up in different areas of the stack here. These are all set up as smart objects so that you can expand and contract these, basically to different sizes. So basically we could make this quite a bit larger and it's not going to lose, any detail or anything. So if you wanted to make a big graphic, you could certainly do that. Let's get back down here to the baseball. You could resize this to make it, quite a bit smaller. Again, so you can create all kinds of variety and everything in this. All right, just by changing sizes and things like that. So again, all the different sport options are in here. These could be mixed and matched. So we get cheer, tennis, some volleyball options, some hockey options. So again, all of this you can see on the product page. But then above here, we have some extra layering options. So these are kind of like some extras that you may just want to throw in, a couple just to create some layering and for some different personality and stuff like that. Also, there's a few kind of like the more popular emoji sticker type of looks here. So again, these can be changed in size, moved around, rotated, all those good things. And then a few like basic text options in here. So again, same thing. Those can be moved around, turned off or on as needed. All right, so let's just turn a subject layer on here so we can kind of get a look here. So we have a baseball player in here. And this, as you can see, where there's some stroke options already applied to this group, and some masking, just to give some shape here to the bottom. And these stroke layers could be turned on and off again to create kind of layers of stroke type effects depending on the look that you're going for. There is some slight drop shadowing in there just to give a little bit of that slight raised look. But again, simply just drop your subject in here and you should be good to kind of like position them and go. So if we kind of move our subject around a little bit, let me turn this auto select off. There we go. You kind of position your subject to where you like, and then you can start customizing things. All right, so first thing let's do is go to our text group. Let's update our text here. All right, we're going to apply that. Now we can change our text color. I'm just going to grab one of the reds from the jersey right there. Let's go down and fix our text down here. So I don't need this spacing there anymore. And let's change the name. All right, so then we update the name there. And now we can turn some of these options on. So for a baseball player, let's turn our baseball options on, and we can start, moving some of these things around and creating, some layers. Now, one thing that you can do when moving these stickers, you could turn your auto select on, and you can click on the stickers that you want to move. There's going to be one little thing to pay attention to. You'll take notice if you click initially, it's going to try and grab this foreground shading, which is going over everything. Just simply temporarily disable that layer, and then you can click around on the individual sticker options themselves and move them around. So again, you can make this, I always think about when working on this design about, in school, we basically just slapped stickers everywhere on everything and layered them, and they just honestly look like a hot mess, but in like a cool nostalgic type of way. So I just like kind of pulling these things around, and then once I kind of get my background sport ones, and again, you could layer these individually or as a group. Let's say the baseball, for instance, we could drag that up and put it above our subject if you wanted to just layer that one over top for some reason. Okay, that's very easy to do. But then we could also turn on some of these other ones, like let's turn on some emojis here. What I would do is just turn these off and then decide what we want to include. So let's say we want to include the bicep emoji. I think that's a cool one to put in there. But let's resize it here to bring it down some. All right, let's do, I like the raised hand one too. That one's always pretty cool to throw in. Let's resize that one. And again, I'm just kind of layering it in to make it feel like stickers have been slapped all over, just all over the image. Let's maybe do this one. Maybe let's rotate and resize. And again, these could be layered. Let's say we wanted that one to come over the text. Well, you could just drag that one above the text group. Not in the text group, but above it. There we go. And now you could also overlay that, over the text and your subject. So it's really fun just kind of coming in here and creating, some different layers out of these. So let's maybe turn a few of these off, and let's just do this one. So again, we could just rotate and resize. Say we wanted to layer that one in that way. So it's kind of fun sitting here playing with this. Then if you come out with a layout, you could always drop your next subject in and keep that same layout kind of rolling there. Let's look at our extras. I'm going to turn a few of these off so we can turn them on one at a time. So I love the little gold chain for the baseball players. Let's throw that on there just to be fun. All right, let's see what else we could throw the backpack in. And we could resize that one as well. So let's turn that down and bring that maybe right there. I kind of like that layered in that way. Let's see, anything else we want to throw in here? Maybe let's do the sunglasses. And let's rotate, maybe stick those up here somewhere. So again, you can see, you can kind of just pull everything around, layer it as you like, create whatever look you like out of this, and then you're good to go. All right, maybe pull this one up a little bit. So there we go. I hope you have a lot of fun playing with this. There's so many options here. There's really no limits into basically what you could put together as options. But I would love to see what you do with this if you're using this one. And yeah, can't wait to see you on the next one.